hold me back. Oh, oh, meh. Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. My name is Cassandra and this is where I respond to things on the internet for my entertainment and yours. If that tickles your pickle, then go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Right now, I should be recording a video for my other channel about ADHD, but I did not take my ADHD medication today, so I'm struggling to make my mind and body actually physically do it. Somehow it wants to do this video, so I'm just gonna, lean into that. Accept that I haven't taken my medication, which would normally help with that, accept that I'm not neurotypical, and just do the thing that my brain wants to do first. And then I'm pretty sure that will put me in a better mood, in a better headspace to go ahead and make the other video that I should so-called be doing after I make this one. So yeah, let's go ahead then. I thought today we could take another look at Reddit's infamous Am I the Asshole subreddit. Yeah, read a few things, cast our judgment on people and decide whether or not they are in fact assholes. Am I the asshole for not letting my fiance's niece try my engagement ring? I, 36 female, recently got engaged to my fiancé, male, 34. Congratulations. He's in the military and has an extended family. He's close to his sister and 21-year-old niece. His brother-in-law is deceased. When I met his niece, she seemed sweet but kept making passive-aggressive comments about me, like how I look older than my fiancé, how we're incompatible just due to our star signs or whatever. And when we announced my engagement, she told my fiancé he's moving too fast, even though we've been dating for almost 3 years, albeit a long-distance relationship. Yesterday I visited my future in-laws and his sister and niece were there. His niece saw my ring and commented on it saying, "I bet this is the fanciest one you've ever got, just like my uncle." Okay, I felt offended and thought that was rude, but I ignored her because of how mother-in-law was looking at me. Why, how was she looking at you? But she, his niece, asked if she could try the ring on. I was taken aback. I said no. She asked again, but I still said no. Next thing I knew, she got up from her seat and stood in front of me, extending her arm, expecting me to take the ring off and give it to her. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? I said, please go back to your seat. I already said no. Good. Be firm. Sister-in-law said it was fine, but I said I just didn't feel comfortable. Sister-in-law then looked at me quizzically and was like, are you serious? That's his niece, just let her try it on. Are you serious? It's my ring, bitch. I can do what I want and you're being an asshole and so's your fucking daughter, okay? Guess we know my response to this one already. I said, I'm sorry, but no. Niece threw a fit and went upstairs. Her mum said I had no reason to act like this and said she didn't get what my problem is. I took my purse, about to leave, after she kept berating me for not letting her daughter try the ring. Mother-in-law asked me to stay. Right, okay, so I'm getting confused. Okay, so the niece is the one that wants the ring. The mother-in-law gave OP a look. The sister-in-law outwardly said, you're being unreasonable or whatever. Okay, then OP is about to leave. Then the mother-in-law asked me to stay, but I insisted on leaving. Sister-in-law tried calling me, and because I needed time to answer, she sent a text saying my behaviour was alarming and that she will bring this incident up to her brother when he gets back because she sensed that I'm trying to drive a wedge between her daughter and my fiancé for whatever reason. Bitch, please. We haven't talked after that, and I really don't know what to think of this. I don't know if I acted poorly, but I'll leave this to you. Maybe I'm missing something. Am I the asshole? Background for some clarification. Okay, good, we like that. My fiancé has 2 sisters and he's close to this particular sister and her daughter. Her daughter hangs out a lot with him and sometimes refers to him as Kev. I mean, is that his name, or is that supposed to be somehow significant? I found that a bit weird since he's the youngest uncle. He has two other older brothers too. Then I thought, no problem. Why is it weird to call someone Kev unless their name isn't Kev? It doesn't say anywhere what his name is, so I don't understand that as being clarification. Anyway, I found that a bit weird since he's younger, blah, blah, blah. She follows all his social media accounts and even knows some of his friends. Also, she drives his car when he visits and uses his workout equipment as well. I talked to him about some boundaries, but his sister gave me no chance and accused me of putting space between the family and him, so I kept my mouth shut. So let's do this a little bit backwards, because this background for some clarification thing, I don't get that. Like, again, I don't understand the significance of calling someone Kev, which to me is just short for Kevin, but we don't know whether or not that's his name. Why would it? Anyway, so the niece follows her uncle's social media accounts, who she's close to. I don't see a problem with that. Know some of his friends. Again, what's the issue? She drives his car when he visits and uses his workout equipment. He's got stuff she wants to use. He's happy with her to use it. I don't understand why that needs to be a boundary thing. However, the way that the niece, and I don't want to like be jumping to something like weird and shady or whatever, but just the way that OP is describing it and talking about it with like boundaries, the way the niece is acting and stuff like that, I'm wondering if maybe what she's getting at, or what's being implied here, is like, are we trying to say then that the niece is into OP's fiance, which is her uncle? Because why else would it be a boundary issue? Like, why would you have a problem with a family member or relative following social media accounts, borrowing your car, using your workout equipment? Like, why would that be an issue? But then again, why would the niece be like acting like such a dick? Anyway, I think this one is pretty obvious, and I think you know that already. Basically, it sounds like the niece is just being an ass, and she's being encouraged by her mother, which is OP's sister-in-law, and that mother-in-law is just like about, what the fuck is going on here? Let's try and keep the peace. That's what it seems like to me. So basically, like, his niece is like seeming nice and sweet at first, but then actually she's being like super passive aggressive, just like fucking making comments, making it clear that she doesn't want them to be together for whatever reason. But OP is trying to, like, you know, be nice, go and see the in-laws and stuff when her fiance's away, and she doesn't like have to tag along or something like that. She's gonna go see them on her own as well, which I think is nice. Niece is still making passive aggressive comments, wants to try on the ring. To be honest, I think it's weird to ask to try on someone's ring anyway. Like, I mean, it's similar, like when I meet someone, they're like, oh, can I try your glasses? I'm like, what? No. Like, how old are we? Like, no. Why do you want to try my glasses? Like, I need these to see. They're my property. Bitch, I don't know you. Why are you, like, what? No. And then, you know, in this case, with like a ring that's probably, you know, of significantly more value, it's obviously, you know, something that she's gonna treasure and want to take care of because it's from her, you know, her new fiance. She just got this thing. The niece is like already being a dick anyway. She doesn't trust her with it. And just to be like, come on then, give it to me. OP said no. If you're gonna ask someone something, be prepared for them to give you an answer that you don't like, just because you think you're entitled for whatever reason, just because you insist. Bitch, no. And then I don't know what look the mother-in-law gave when the niece was like, I bet this is the fanciest one you've ever got, just like my uncle. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Apparently the mother-in-law was giving a look to OP. Don't know what that look was though. Can I try in the ring? No. And then the sister-in-law, the niece's mother, starts kicking in, saying, are you serious? Just let her try it on. No, she doesn't have to. So then she throws a fit. Bitch, the niece as well, it's not like she's a child. She's 21 years old. So, I mean, even if she was a child, like, even more chance that she could like lose it or something, do you know what I mean? But she's a grown-ass adult. Why are these people feeling so entitled? So naturally then, OP feels like she's in a fucking bad situation that she doesn't want to be in. People are like making her out to be the bad person, so she quite rightly removes herself from the situation. And then the sister-in-law is then accusing OP trying to drive a wedge. Why would she even come and visit the family if she was trying to drive a wedge? Like, this is just classic, like, oh no, now I'm the victim. Do you know what I mean? gosh. And now she's like, I'm gonna tell my brother on you. Like, bitch, this is stupid. OP's not the asshole. The family's the fucking asshole. Okay, fine. Am I the asshole for telling my mum to wash their eyes out with soap? That doesn't make sense. After she saw a raunchy photo of my wife? What? Okay, let's read this. Throwaway account. Okay, whatever, I don't care. My wife, Tiana, gave birth to our beautiful son 7 months ago. More congratulations. She works from home and enjoys sending me pictures and videos of my son and 2 of them together. Some of the pictures are plain selfies, others are impromptu, elaborate photo shoots of him on our couch. I found the pictures are cute and they always brighten up my day. That's nice. My sister Ariel. Okay, because it's a throwaway account, so they're making up names. Okay, fine. I was like, why this for the names? Okay, my sister Ariel just got out of a bad marriage, and my mum and 2 brothers were helping her to pack things up. At one point, my sister's phone died, and she asked to use mine to make an important call. I agreed, and I assumed that she would bring my phone back in a few minutes. I assumed Tiana sent a picture of herself while I was working, i.e. when my sister had the phone, because when I stopped to take a break, my mum and Ariel approached me, my phone in hand, about Tiana's scandalous behaviour. Scandalo. They showed me a selfie of Tiana, sent a few minutes after I had given my phone to Ariel of her breastfeeding. That's not raunchy. I guess this is maybe then the point what the OP is getting at. Okay, so nothing was even exposed. She was smiling. The photo was mostly of her face. Ariel told me that it was ungodly and indecent for my wife to be sending pictures of that nature to me. Oh my God, come on. Again, there was barely any boob in the pic. She's feeding her fucking son. What's wrong with you? Then my sister pulls up a video of Tiana in the mirror showing off her new dress, baby on her waist. The dress showed a little cleavage, but I don't think it was anything too serious. Again, Ariel started to go on a rant about how inappropriate Tiana was behaving as a new mother. Hold me back. Oh! In the moment, I was in disbelief, girl, me too, and somewhat amused, so I stayed silent. She kept going off about how disturbed she was after seeing those pictures and how dirty she felt after. What, after going through someone else's phone? I was tired of listening, so I pointed to a sink and told her to wash her eyes out with soap. If it was bothering her that much. Okay, now I get it. Okay, fair enough. This did not help the overall situation. I'm shocked. Ariel stormed off and my mum told me that I should be more sensitive and understanding about her marriage. So other people can't be married and have a nice relationship because your marriage is gone wherever it's gone? Like, stormed off. My mum told me that I should be more sensitive and understanding about her marriage situation. When I told my wife, she laughed, but suggested I apologise to help everything go back to normal. Was I too harsh? No. Next. No. Let's go through it, shall we? Y'all know I like to break shit down from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top in the last one. Anyway, okay. This is for sure nothing raunchy about this, okay? It is a new mother sending pictures to a new father, like, you know, the one that is together, not just some other random, like, of herself and the new son together being cute. That's not raunchy or sexual in any way, and if you fucking think it is, you need to evaluate your life, okay? Stop. Get some help. So that's one thing, okay? So then OP lends his phone to sister Ariel, who just got out of a bad relationship and is like packing her shit together to move to a new place. So she's like, oh, bro, I gotta make an important call. Well, I'm assuming it's bro. Oh yeah, because it's the dad. So she's like, bro, I gotta make a call, but my phone done run out of battery. Can I borrow yours? He's like, yes, sis, no prob, here you go. And then in the meantime, OP's wife is like, oh, look at us together, aren't we cute? Your baby's having lunch. You know, she's breastfeeding, that's all it fucking was. Then the sister takes it upon herself to open someone else's messages on their phone, someone else's phone, and is all like, oh, this is disgusting. Breastfeeding is the most disgusting, unnatural, scandalous thing on the planet. What a disgusting thing to send to your husband and father of your son. Oh, bitch. And then, not only that, but then the sister also then goes through like the other messages or the other pictures or something on, again, someone else's phone to find a video being like, oh, this is so inappropriate. A new mother shouldn't be wearing a nice dress. A new mother shouldn't be holding their baby and sending a picture of that disgusting new dress to her husband. Oh, how inappropriate. Like, do I even need to explicitly tell you how I feel about this? Like, how is that, bitch, if that disturbs you, I'm trying not to be like super mean and judgmental, but I am kind of like, bitch, is this why your marriage went down? Like, is this the kind of bullshit you've been pulling on your ex? Like, were they just so like, I cannot be bothered with your ridiculousness anymore? I'm out of here. Like, again, I don't know, but if that's the way she's reacting at this, then who knows what else she's like, do you know what I mean? Oh. So then OP's like, the fuck you talking about? And said, all right, then go wash your eyes out with soap if it's bothering you that much, if you feel so nasty and dirty. And then mother's all like, oh, you should be more sensitive. Like, don't get me wrong, right? If you're going through stuff your own right, if you're going through like a divorce or some shit like that, of course it's like, it's natural and it's normal and it can be expected that you're like in a shitty mood, that you're irritable, that you're just not in the fucking mood for anything. But when you are clearly out of line, like not only violating someone else's privacy, but then like saying just ridiculous, nonsensical things about stuff that was none of your business to even look at in the first place, having a go at somebody else, whatever it is that you're going through, that's not an excuse to then just be an ass to other people. That's not a license to say and do stupid things like that. That's not like, I mean, be more sensitive. What is the OP supposed to do? Like, what's the sensitive reaction to that, apart from just acting as if the sister's correct, which she clearly is not? Do you know, it's situation, like in both of these stories, you know, when like the parent or whatever relative or whatever just like, it annoys me, you know, when they're like, when they probably think that they're defending their child and they think that they're like doing the right thing or whatever, but you're not. You're just encouraging it. You're encouraging like ridiculous bad behaviour, entitled behaviour. No wonder they're behaving that way, right? Like, I wanted to say no wonder they're a trash person, but that maybe is a bit too harsh, because again, like, I'm only reading one fucking story from one side, so I don't know these people, whatever, and a lot of the time it's like, you gotta separate between the behaviour and the person. Okay, so like, my first thought was she's a trash person, but I rethought it. Like, she's not necessarily a trash person, but the behaviour is trash. Do you know what I mean? And like, if you're only doing stuff to encourage that kind of behaviour and to make the person think that that's the correct way to be, and if they just like scream loud enough, if they just throw a big enough tantrum, then they'll get their way. Like, no. OP is not the asshole. Let's find one more let's try and find like a nice one, because I feel like these just annoyed me. They just irritated me, right? Maybe it's like too much of people being assholes, but just not the OP. Am I the asshole for telling my wife she's weird for taking a certain photo of her kids? Let's decide. My 42 male, so OP is the 42 male, wife, 40 female, and I have 3 kids. He could have really written that in a better way. Anyway, so they have 3 kids. 17-year-old male, 15-year-old female, and another 7-year-old male. Our youngest recently broke his arm pretty badly, and because it is spring break for them, we were at a hotel, so they were all in the car together as we were returning from the hospital. Oh yeah, because he broke his arm, and it was pretty late when they were coming back. I would say around 11 o'clock. Our youngest had fallen asleep on our daughter. Oh my god. So the youngest is a 7-year-old, and he broke his arm, so they were at hospital, and then driving on the way back, it was pretty late, and the youngest who broke his arm fell asleep on the daughter who is 15 while she had her arm around him, and she was also asleep. Cuddling together in the car because it's been a long day. Our oldest had earphones in, he's 17, and was faced the other way towards the window. He was possibly also asleep. I was driving and my wife took a picture. I found it odd because they were all asleep and my son had a broken arm in the photo, so they are memories that need not be remembered, and the idea of having a picture of them sleeping was just weird. But isn't that like a thing that people do? Like, I mean, I don't have kids and I don't really like children. So not me. But like, isn't that a thing? Like, you know, to be like, oh, they're so cute, they're sleeping, you know, and then like take a picture. People do that with like cats and dogs and stuff too, right? I don't know. But OP's like, that's weird, they're asleep and my son's got a broken arm, what are you doing? I told her this and she said that they looked cute together. I get that. I said, no, it's just odd, and told her that if she showed them, they would definitely be weirded out. She said that if we showed them the picture when they were older, they would definitely appreciate it. I told her to delete it. Delete it, fat. And she wouldn't, and got mad at me for making such a big fuss out of it. I'm starting to think she's right, and maybe I did overreact over an innocent photo. Am I the asshole? As I said, like, I think it's just a thing, you know, when, because like even I, you know, my reaction when it was like, oh, the youngest, you know, was sleeping on the sister and they were kind of cuddling, I was like, oh, that's sweet. Like, that is sweet, and I can for sure understand how, like, yeah, it's been like a long day and the youngest son broke his arm, but then I think it's like maybe quite a nice like rounding off to the evening that like, oh, you know, he's got the cast on now or whatever it is, and now they're just like, oh, they're tired and they're, you know, cuddling in the car on the way home together. Like, I can get how that's like sweet and it's cute and stuff like that. I'm kind of confused though that these people have like, their oldest kid together is 17, so I can only assume that they've been in each other's lives as co-parents for at least 17 years, and only now is the OP ever finding out that the wife thinks that this kind of thing is cute and wants to take a picture of it. Like, I find it very difficult to believe that this is the first time she has ever taken a picture of the kids asleep to his knowledge. So yeah, I for sure can understand then why the wife did it in the first place. I think OP definitely did overreact, like demanding that she delete the picture. That seems like a bit much. I'm wondering if maybe because of like the situation and he's tired as well, like maybe he was just feeling like irritable and he's just like, oh, delete it, you know, like maybe he's just not in a good mood and he like overreacted because of that. So, you know, if I was the wife, I would also be like, geez, like calm down, like what's your problem? Like, no. What I think maybe would be a bit more reasonable, like, because fair enough, you know, maybe the kids wouldn't like it. I think it would be more reasonable if he was like, babe, that's kind of creepy, like show the kids tomorrow and see what they think, and if they don't like it, then, you know, maybe you should delete it. I think that would be totally reasonable to suggest and to do, and then, you know, especially because the kids are mostly grown enough that they can decide for themselves. But to be like, no, delete it, I think that's a bit much. So I don't think OP here is the asshole, but I do think that he overreacted and could have handled the situation better. Yeah. All right, so those ones were shorter ones today. I don't know how, like, I don't know which things I want to respond to in the future, because, like, to be honest, right, I've been watching some other, like, YouTube responses to Am I the Asshole, and maybe it's because they, like, pre-select the ones that they're going to respond to, and I don't. I just, like, go on and see, like, oh, what's there, and just kind of jump into them. But the ones that I've been seeing other people respond to, I'm like, oh, and I've, like, properly got opinions, and they seem to be like a lot meatier in other cases. But then the ones that I looked at today, they're like a little bit, I don't know, just, you know, I don't know, but these ones, as I say, the first two just kind of annoyed me. I feel like I've been having more fun with the dating advice ones actually. I feel like those ones are maybe like, I don't know, a bit more interesting or whatever. So yeah, I think this did the trick for me in terms of getting me like a little bit more alive to make my other video, but I think maybe next time then let's take a look again at advice ones. Next time, let me know what you think in the comments, both about these 3 posts that we looked at today and also like which ones do you prefer? What stuff do you want me to respond to? And also feel free to post links directly in the comments as well, stuff that you've seen and you think would be good for me to respond to as well. Having said all that, I'm still entertained. Are you? Alright, I'm gonna record my other video now. Feel free to, you know, binge some of the other ones I've made. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye, 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 bye.